Greetings. I wanted to make a video to talk about something that is on my mind lately related to politics and communism and stuff, which I haven't talked about in a bit. Forgive the sound of water. I am doing dishes right now. I figured that one video I made a very long time ago where I explained the labor theory of value or the tendency of the rate of profit to fall or whatever it was while I was doing laundry. People seem to like that video, so I figured I should do more videos while doing chores, because it's summer break and I am a stay-at-home dad and I have a lot of chores to do over the summer. So you're going to get some audio of me doing dishes in the background. Anyways, so a lot of communists that I know, including Maoists, have been going into DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America. At the same time, the DSA is having a bit of a moment in the mainstream politics. It's in the news all the time. The Republicans are hysterical about it. There's candidates who are winning primaries and probably going to go to Congress or wherever they're off to. Zoran Mamdani in New York, I think he's an actual DSA member, or at least, I don't know, he's somehow affiliated or associated with them. I'm in Chicago, I don't know a whole lot about New York politics. But he is probably the most popular mayor in the country right now, so yeah, DSA is becoming a big deal. And it's hard when I think about, like, the hardcore revolutionary communists. You know, not the, like, general vague leftists or progressives who are like, we want Bernie Sanders style social democracy and we just want healthcare. But I mean the actual revolutionary communists, right? People who study Marx and Lenin and Mao, maybe, whatever. Kind of going towards DSA in this moment, it's hard not to see it as kind of chasing what's popular. So that, to a large extent, kind of colors how I'm thinking about this. Not like fully, because I've known some people who I consider to be comrades and good communists who are not just joining right now when it's having this moment, you know, who joined a few years ago before Mamdani, before any of this. So I'm not saying that that's fully the reason and everybody is just chasing a trend, but it does seem that as the DSA picks up steam, this kind of movement of revolutionary communists into DSA, into caucuses like Red Star, and there's a couple others that are more radical. It's kind of hard not to see those things as related in some way. I am not in DSA. I have no plans to join DSA right now. And I am resistant because DSA is still far too bound up in the Democratic Party for me. I don't think that you can change the Democratic Party from the inside. I don't think that it is worth our time as organizers and revolutionaries to be trying to fight against the Democratic establishment for the soul of the Democratic Party, because that soul is rotten. It is part of the American political establishment through and through, the dictatorship of the bourgeoisie, and you can't change that by doing entryism into it to force a dirty break or whatever these people want to do. And that's a big part of it. It is entryism, which is closely associated with Trotskyist movements. Most of the people that I see doing this are not Trotskyists, and it's a little strange to see this kind of open embrace of what is generally considered a Trotskyist tactic among Maoists and other anti-revisionists and revolutionary communists. At the same time, to be fair, I understand the kind of surface level logic behind it, right? So, as communists, and especially as Maoists, we should be among the people. Maoism doesn't work, communist revolution doesn't work, unless communists are embedded with the people. And part of their struggles and showing ourselves to be competent and useful organizers to the people and engaging in the political movements that the people are organized in. So, with that in mind, I get that DSA is the largest organization calling itself socialist in America. It's winning political victories. It is becoming, I don't want to say it's mainstream, but it's knocking on the door of mainstream, certainly. But at the same time, the reason that I am not ready to jump on the bandwagon yet is because DSA does not actually seem to me to be an organization that is rooted in the masses. It is certainly rooted in the kind of like politically engaged younger progressive movement, but I don't know that that is really representative of the masses in America. And this is kind of a tricky thing to talk about because I'm not denigrating like young political activists. I'm getting up there in age. I'm 34. I'm kind of in the middle between young and old. So I don't want to, I'm not like a college student who's super like what we think of when we think of activists, but I still do organizing work, and I'm still devoted to the cause. And I'm not trying to denigrate younger people who are looking for organizations to be a part of, who are exploring kind of the world of organizing and what to join and where to align themselves. This is not me saying that, like, oh, progressives are not really part of the masses, they're all bourgeois. I support Starbucks unions and all that stuff. So this is not me being like one of those reactionary communists. However, the masses in this country are largely unaware of DSA, or if they are aware of it, they have a skewed view of it that, yes, a lot is based on propaganda from places like Fox News and things like that. Or not, not even just Fox News, but like the Democratic Party and like mainstream news media and liberal media and things like that. So while, yes, it's true that the policies advocated by the DSA would overall be a net benefit to the masses of people in America, the masses are not rallying around that cause yet. Maybe they will. And if that is the case, I think there's an opening for DSA to really root itself in the masses and dialectically bring these ideas to the masses and figure out a way to actually get them involved.
All the way down to Pillow Mountain.
Come here, baby. My child is interrupting. Come here. I'm making a video. You want to say hi to the video? Look. Say hi. This is Rebecca Safendis. Alright, can I finish my video and then I'll come talk to you about that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be right back, okay? Rebecca cameo. So there is an opening for DSA to root itself in the masses if the left line is able to kind of assert control and make some changes to the way that the organization is kind of structured and where it draws its main membership from, etc. But I don't see that happening yet, and to be honest, I'm still pretty skeptical that it is going to happen. I think it could, but I don't think it's going to. And maybe it's part of getting older and being in failed organizations or organizations that don't do anything, organizations that fizzle out after a couple years. But I'm just trying to be a lot more deliberate with how I spend my limited time to be able to organize and be involved in things. And I'm just not convinced that DSA is going to become the kind of organization that I feel like could actually lead to real significant revolutionary change in America. I think that most likely, I'm not making predictions because, Lord knows this decade is jam-packed with surprises. But I think most likely is that the DSA is going to have some early success with getting some endorsed candidates in, but those candidates are going to, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, they're going to have to continuously compromise themselves in order to conform to the Democratic line and establishment. Those candidates are going to end up being a disappointment. It's going to create fractures in DSA, and you'll start to see most of these left factions split off from it at some point. And it wouldn't be the first time. DSA was formed from a split in like the 70s. My great-grandfather was actually a member of one of the organizations that it split from, so I have a long family history with it. But I'm recognizing that there's a lot of energy around it right now. I'm just still skeptical. And I think if you are a revolutionary communist or a Maoist who is thinking about joining the DSA or wants to, I'm not here to like dissuade you from that, but I will caution you to keep your eye on the prize. Short-term reforms are a strategy to snowball into longer-term organizing success and building power for the communist movement and for socialism. They're not an end unto themselves, and the goal is not just to get people elected. Getting people elected is not a victory. It's a victory when those people strengthen the socialist movement. Getting elected can be a part of that, but it also can be detrimental to that. So please keep your eyes on the prize, and don't think that just because there's a lot of energy in the DSA right now means that that is the only game in town, or that that is where you necessarily should be spending your energy. I leave that to discerning comrades to figure out for themselves. All right, see you next time. Also, I have a fantasy novel coming out on September 1st called Seed of the Black Oak. It is a queer, sapphic, dark fantasy, romance, sword and sorcery. I'm going to be mentioning it in everything I make from now until at least September 1st, probably after still. So if you like that kind of stories, you should buy my book, because I'm proud of it. All right, support a communist, non-binary writer. All right, comrades, solidarity and God bless.